A very good evening and welcome to Face the Nation. Now the need of the hour today is to appoint a clean parliament on the August 17th general elections. We just witnessed a presidential election on the 8th of January this year. Now it is your time once again to elect a clean parliament on the 17th of August this year, a few days from now. Now we are in discussion today with Rohan Hettiawatchi, Executive Director of PAFRIL, Kirti Thennakone, Executive Director of the Campaign for a Free and Fair Election, and also Manjula Gajanayaka, National Coordinator of the Centre for Monitoring Election Violence. We start off with Mr. Rohan Hettiawatchi. Mr. Hettiawatchi, with regard to the elections, August 17th, are you satisfied in the way in which we are moving forward?
Well, I think the first thing I should say, we have a lot of hopes with regard to the 19th Amendment, and we thought that the parliamentarians, the member of parliament, they were able to, like they passed the 19th Amendment, they were able to sort of this establish this constitutional council. But unfortunately, and also under that constitutional council and appoint the elections commission as well as the police commissions. But unfortunately, none of them take it seriously. Actually, they play with the political game. Like the 20th amendment also, we had the same problem, and also the 19th amendment we face the same problem. So they will not really take it interesting and go forward with the independent commissions. So, but anyway, the elections commissioner, the present elections commissioner, are quite keen on the 19th amendment and the power vested with the 19th amendment, and also only the good signal that the elections commissioner as well as the IGP, Inspector General of Police, they both are quite keen on the clear pre-fair elections. But the politicians, of course, we are not happy with the present situation. The nominations for the, especially the nomination for the political party. What we notice throughout the media, the way they are going to the main the political parties, UNP and SLFE, the both parties are. They have not so far. They have not announced their proper criteria how they are going to select their candidate. At the same time, we have noticed that the corrupted people who are having a lot of allegations, they are trying to get into the next parliament as well. So with this present situations, we as a monitoring body, we are seeking at least with the elections commissioner to have a kind of control mechanism, especially the abusing the government resources and the government power, which we have observed the last elections, one of the key issue. So we have some hopes with the elections commissioner, but we are not really happy as an election monitoring body with the present system.
Mr. Hettiawatchi, you said that politicians are playing a game. Who are these politicians who are playing this game?
I think it's the both major political parties, and UNP and SLFE. It's pretty clear. The last parliament, they didn't want to pass the 20th amendment, and also they play make a game play a game with the 19th amendment. They don't want to. They don't want to. Do a real politics. They want to come into power. Those who are in the opposition, those who are in the power, they want to maintain their powers. I mean, they are not really concerned the country or a citizen. So it is pretty clear now how they behave like last couple of weeks time.
Thank you very much. That, of course, was Rohan Hettiawatchi, Executive Director of PAFRIL. I now move on to Kirti Thennakone, Executive Director of the Campaign for a Free and Fair Election. Mr. Thennakone, you've been extremely vocal about ensuring that a clean parliament is appointed on the 17th of August this year. However, we saw a new development today. That is the United People's Freedom Alliance announcing that it has decided to provide nominations to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa to contest under their ticket. What are your thoughts on this? Can we appoint a clean parliament in the future? Are we on the right track?
Are we on the right track is the biggest question everyone is asking during the last 2-3 days, and it is keep on asking from the January 9th it seems. And with the today's announcement from the UPFA General Secretary Mr. Sushil Premchand, the many people raised their eyebrows on this, and the partners of the UPFA who helped Maithripala Sirisena to come into the power on January 9th was shocked. And the JHU as one of the political parties who supported throughout that campaign has officially making communications to say that we are ready to quit from the UPFA alliance, and the same message has just communicated from the Sarath Fonseca's political party, the Democratic Party. So the issue here, there was a very high expectations on the 19th Amendment and the 20th Amendment. For basically everyone thought when the 19th Amendment was passed to the Parliament and they will establish the Constitutional Council, and we was not able to establish the Constitutional Council just because of the manipulation it took place during the parliamentary session.
But you are aware that the Constitutional Council convened today under the patronage of former Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa this morning.
And everyone said with 7 members has already appointed, and they can go ahead with that 7 members and make the appointments to the independent commission, and that's one thing we keep on pressuring, asking the politicians to do. But here everyone knew that the legal background on that it can operate with the 7-member Constitutional Council, and it is very unfortunate that they didn't took the initiative to establish the Independent Election Commission, the Independent Police Commission, the so forth of the commissions. Here, for the first time, even though we passed the 19th Amendment and we are having the space of appointing the Independent Election Commission, they didn't do that. Without the Independent Election Commission, we went to we called for the elections, and moreover, there was a huge criticism against the police department during the presidential elections, and we should not forget that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the Secretary of Defence, has made more than 160 police transfers during the last week before the presidential election. Now, the same thing happens under the John Amaratunga, and
we witnessed this a couple of weeks ago where several senior police officers were transferred.
At the very beginning, there was 23 police officers were transferred, then within next day there were another 12 officers, including the DIG was transferred, and we got to know that there were 7 additional police staff members were transferred during the last 24 hours. So the same track record has keep on repeating. So this is what we didn't expect from a good governance perspective, and the people has changed but the system has not changed. We are repeating the same system, and we are keep on doing the same mistakes, which was not very healthy for the good governance, for sure.
Thank you very much. That, of course, was Kirti Thendakone, Executive Director of the Campaign for a Free and Fair Election. He has been extremely vocal about appointing a clean parliament on the 17th of August this year. I now move on to Manjula Gajnayaka, the National Coordinator for the Centre for Monitoring Election Violence. Manjula, are you satisfied the way in which we are moving forward? Good governance was something that the people were expecting on the 8th of January. Mr. Thendakone said that there is no good governance evident. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, actually, as a monitoring election body, we can't satisfy it at all regarding the recent developments taking place. Also, I accept, and actually I accept what Kirti Thendakone and what Ms. Rohana Hettiarachchi told that actually this is when comparing what they told at the beginning of the so-called rainbow revolution, actually we can't believe what is going on, what is happening in the ground actually right now. especially giving nominations to Mahinda Rajapaksa and team. And in other thing also, actually, if we are taking current situation today and yesterday situation regarding the election violence, we know that one of incidents received from Mahiyangane area that some of UNP supporters had beaten and threatened by UPFA supporters. Actually, this incident, this also the responsible persons for this incident also same persons who responsible at the presidential election during the presidential election time period. You know that this is very unfortunate incident, because as the March 12 movement, we always pressurize political leaders, and we always highlighted the incidents related to this, because that if you are taking Mahiyangane area, actually that such Mahiyangane area in the last during last presidential election also huge, I mean most of election related violence received from this area. This same thing happening in this area. Actually then now if you are thinking on this incident seriously, this is a symbolic actually this is a symbolically valid incident reported from Mahiyangane area, because if political party leaders are willing to uphold the good governance in the country, they shouldn't give nominations to these politicians. But we can't see such development taking place at the moment. Not only that, actually, even that if we are taking such kind of developments, we can see most of areas actually election violence has begun. Then what we can see actually, then now we always thinking, and we also always appreciated taken steps taken by current government few months ago. But in the current situation, we can't see positive development regarding.
Mr. Tendekon said that there seemed to be no progress. It's the same song sung on a different month when compared to what the past government was doing. You are saying that you commend the efforts taken by the present government. How do you justify this?
I mean actually we can see like this. We can see some developments are taking place. We can't deny that. We can
example.
Yeah, actually, we can take media, state media. We can say if we can talk now. Actually, we can see some balance reporting, media coverage, and such kind of things are taking place. We can see that such kind of positive move is there. But the thing is, actually, we can't justify, or we can't I mean we can take one incident, or we can't take two incidents, couple of incidents. We can't say this is a real situation, this is a real development related to the good governance. Actually, it should be a chain of incidents. I mean, it should be a process, not alone. I mean, not a one or single incident. Actually, then that's why I am saying actually upholding good governance is a process. Then we should responsible for that. Actually, political party leaders responsible more than us to uphold the good governance in the country.
Thank you very much.
And just to add
yes,
Manjula's comment, I mean, when we are looking for the elections, it's very important that the legal background where the election is to be taken place. The other factors, the freedom of movement, freedom of expression, freedom of association goes with the elections, because it's an ultimate choice of the people who's going to make it, depends on the very fundamental rights of the people. And we have seen that freedom has reached to these people for every single corner of this country, from Jaffna to Devinuvara for sure. But here we are talking about the same mistakes. Or for example, to be very specific, there were 5 incidents of election violence taken place during the last, just after the election was announced. When we go and analyze these incidents, number 1, the first incident took place in Anuradhapura, and it is against, I mean, the Chandrani Bandara's cutouts were cut down, and it is known that it's a senior, from a very senior politician who operated throughout.
Mr. Ringo, we will talk about all this election violence in a bit. We'll open the floor for questions from our journalists. On to my immediate right is Nadeem Majid, on to my immediate left is Sonali Vanikabadige, and on to my far left is Faraz Shaukat Ali, who is an independent business investigative journalist. We start off today proceedings with Faraz. Faraz?
I think we'll ask Mr. Kirti's question, please. Does Sri Lanka have enough laws to deter and prevent election violence?
Yeah, definitely. We are having, I mean, the election violence has to deal with the civic law of the country. The police is having enough laws and powers to ensure that the law and order prevails in the country, and we are very much pretty sure that the law present at the moment is pretty adequate, and there are enough powers for the police to handle the law and order of the situation of the country, and there are enough laws for sure. Yes.
And what about its implementation? What's the appetite of the police to implement these laws?
As I tried to say at the very beginning, the issue here with the law enforcement is the issue of the regional politicians who try to gain some mileage over the other political parties at the ground level. Their influence on the police at the district levels, maybe the provincial levels, is so high against the senior police officers down there, and the police officers in the other hand find that they can get the promotions, they have the other favorations from the politicians, as the politicians are the ultimate power when it comes to the promotions and the other benefits which they are providing. So that's why we were campaigning for almost 2 decades now for establishing an independent police commission, and with the 19th amendment, with the Constitutional Council appointing the members to the independent police commission is possible, and we keep on pressuring the lawmakers to appoint the independent independent police commission, which didn't took place. Now the same mistakes done under the Gotabaya Rajapaksa long time ago is repeating under the present government. It is very unfortunate that we are seeing this happen again and again in the different levels and the different scales.
Mr. Tennakoon, now usually when elections are called, the duties of the Elections Commissioner are set out by statute. Similarly, how are your duties and responsibilities as election monitors, how are they demarcated? Could you just outline for us, where does it begin? Does it begin when elections are called, and where does it end?
This is a very interesting question. Here we should understand, according to the Sri Lankan law, election monitors are not recognized officially. So we don't have any powers at all. It's the whole discretion of the election commissioner to recognize us. And we just operate as the civil society organization, and it happens throughout the year, 365 days of the year. It's not just, it does not start with the nominations, it does not start with the calling of the elections, it does not necessarily ending just after the elections or the 2 weeks after the elections for that matter. It's the pressure group. What we are doing as the election monitors is the job of the pressure groups and nothing else. So it's the duty of the people, it's the duty of the voter to ensure the free and fair elections. So this is where we are stand. It happens every day, each and every day in our life.
Mr. Hettiarachchi, election monitors, are they doing enough?
Are they
doing enough?
Well, it's a good question. I think now we have a couple of monitoring organizations, and as Kirti mentioned, in our law we are not properly recognized in the law, but in our case the Elections Commission recognized us in 2004. Now there are I think 6 or 7 election monitoring bodies, and they have different level of operations and also the capacity. But I think a couple of us we are working throughout the country. But I think Keith also mentioned that the elections observers, the role, not only the elections period. I mean, we have some role throughout the years. That's why we are starting this March 12 movement also. The changing the existing political, the culture, it's a big issue. I mean, the law and order is one side, the implementation is one side, and system is another side. There are different layers need to address at the same time. The elections monitoring body also trying their level best to pressurize the relevant authority, elections department, the police department, sometimes the parliamentarians, the government, to make certain law and implement certain laws. It's I think whether it is enough, or it should be judged by the voters of the country, and maybe judged by the media people like you all. We are trying our level best to pressurize the relevant authority.
Mr. Acharya, with regard to pressurizing the relevant authorities, now Mr. Tennakoon was just saying that from the time of the dissolution of Parliament to now, I think over the past several days, there have been 5 incidents of election violence. Now, even during the past presidential election, we saw this happening with the stage of the common candidate being shot at in Galle, Vadraba. There are several deaths as well. Given how fast people have resorted to violence with this election, with the general election, are you geared to cope up with the monitoring of election violence? Are you actually expecting to have a larger scale of violence than during the presidential election?
Actually, we are not expecting, but I think naturally the violence could be there, because the way the political parties are behaving in the last couple of weeks' time, and also as you also mentioned that there are a couple of incidents take place. So far we have not started the nomination. It will start.
It's the duty of law enforcement to prevent this from happening, right?
I think not only the law enforcement officers, yes, they have their duties. They have to take immediate actions. People need to trust the law, whatever the existing law, and they need to trust the existing system. But if they fail to do immediate actions, the voters or maybe politicians, they will take the law in their hand. So that is one side. And also the political parties, party leaders, they have to have some sort of preventive mechanism. They should have some sort of guideline for their...
But it looks like they are not interested in having that sort of a guideline, because they all have been campaigning for it for a very long time.
Yeah,
it appears to us that there has been no positive response.
Exactly. I'm not talking about... And then, there are positive response not from the political party, from the ground. Actually, we are trying to bring a public demand. There's no public demand up to now. So that is why the politicians are giving nominations some corrupted people. They know end of the day the voters also will vote for them. So that we need to build up sort of public demand. That's what we are doing. But what I'm trying to say is the political party leaders should guide their district level cadres, district level leaders to have some kind of discipline throughout the elections period. And also voters need to realize that end of the day these guys will go to the parliament and they will enjoy their life with lot of resources, but these poor people, citizens of the country, they have to suffer. So people need to realize that the political parties do have their role, and also the law enforcement officers do have their role.
Mr. Acharya, one more question. Now, the 19th Amendment was passed. One of the most important, people were saying that one of the most important facets of the 19th Amendment was the establishment of the independent commissions.
Yeah.
We still don't have the independent commissions, even though the 19th Amendment is law, because the appointing authority, which is the Constitutional Council, was not appointed during the last Parliament, and although they have met, we are not really sure what the agenda is, what they're going to do. If the independent commissions are not there in time for the election, or if they're not appointed within the coming week, let's say, is it possible to have a free and fair election?
In our experience in 2004 and 2005 under the 17th Amendment, there were a couple of the commission, except the Elections Commission. So in that period there were some sort of control of the abusing state resources and violence also. Certain extent there was some control because the law enforcement officers also doing well. It's not 100% perfect, but the present scenario we don't have any of these commissions. But Elections Commission is trying to take the power from the 19th Amendment.
But we could do so. Can we do that? We could do so.
We could do so that we need to empower the commissioner. We need to pressurize the commissioner to use that power. I think he is in track now. But as you said, only Elections Commission himself can't do control all the sectors. There should be some police. Judiciary also should take place in. Should play a bigger role, and the media. All the actors, especially the election monitoring body and also the citizens. But Elections Commissioner could be the big man. But we need to empower him, empower the other body. But we have not assurance that the coming elections also the way the things are going on.
But yes or no, do you expect it to be free and fair?
We are not. We are actually, we pray for that. But
you don't.
For example, today we have noticed, I don't know whether it is true 100%, there are some of the government department, they are appointing new staff. Under the law, they can't appoint anybody during the elections period. So there are a couple of places we have noticed. It has done by the previous government as well, but the same thing is doing these guys also.
I'll ask that question in a different way. During the last presidential election, there's only 5-6 candidates running. Actually, 2 candidates really running the elections. But this election, we see more than 4,000 candidates could appear on these stages. And the political division is so high with the UPFA crisis which is experiencing at the moment. There's a huge chance there will be 2 groups coming from the UPFA camp itself. And they will go against each other with the UNP as the main political party. Moreover, in this parliament, I think there will be something like 70 to 80 people will not return to the parliament in the new parliament. And with that thing, they are fighting for the males to their survival. And that they will do with muscle power and the purse power. The money and the muscle power can buy lot. And that's where all the drug dealers are on the market now. All the thuggeries is taking place. And if we look for the 5 incidents took place during the last 6 days, of course, that's the whole story will explore how they are going to manipulate. And on the other hand, the inner party crises are coming into power, both UNP and the UPFA. So home and home fighting could be a very big possibility.
Angela,
yes, Sonali?
Yes. Now, at present, if we take the north and east, there's a massive crisis going on with the use of illegal drugs. So, in light of this situation that is presently going on, how would your focus as election monitor differ in the north and east? How will you all gear up for that?
Actually, fortunately, we have not received any incidents yet from both areas, both north and east provinces. But during the last presidential election, we received more and more election-related violence incidents from, especially in Wani and Jaffna districts. But regarding your questions, actually, we are not willing to deal with that situation. Actually, that the using of drugs and the current prevailing situation that
because the use of illegal drugs essentially means that there may be an increase in violence as well. So before and during the elections there may be an increased chance for violence to take place.
Yeah, we can accept that idea actually, but the thing is actually that we can see the election campaign always be different from in the north from south actually, because the election, not only election campaign, the slogan and everything bit different from the south, then our prediction is actually that the using of drugs and that prevailing some other illegal cases will affect to the election, but actually our idea, our intention is not that. I mean, in the near future, actually, after 2 or 3 weeks, this all debate will I think will change. I mean that in the, if you are taking both north and east provinces, that I think the most politicians and political stage will raise not the issue of drugs, actually, that ethnicity problems, actually, that the political solution to the current national problem, then in all ways which parties and who are dealing with politicians of northern province, such kind of things will surface, actually, because you know that in the last presidential election, most of people, especially one of politicians in the who supported to the United UPFA, talk about the agreement between between TNA and UNP. Such kind of debate will surface again, then using of drugs and that such kind of things. But I accept that prevailing situation will affect to the rise of election related violence.
Drugs and elections goes together, and everyone knows that more than 300 people in Colombo district alone do daily election postering, poster pasting exercises during the election time. So what they are paid for, they are just getting somewhere around 1,000, 1,500. In addition to that, they are getting 2 packets of heroin. And yesterday we very detailedly discussed about this in the same studio here. And the people who has done that exercise has explained their views. Here everyone knows the drugs and the election campaigning goes together, and people who was hired to the electoral campaigning are paid with heroin packets.
Heroin packets.
Yes, and this is the ground reality, not just in Colombo, it's happening in the other parts of the country also.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Rohan Hettiawache, Kirti Tennakoon and Manjula Rajanayak. We're now going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we will tell you how to select your candidates for the future parliament.